They fly, they smash, and sometimes they roll over and crash. Coming up next, it's a monstrous clash. This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the superstars of the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Nationals Monster Truck Challenge. Welcome to Trucks and Tractor Power on the Nashville Network. Today we're at the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania for the 4th annual four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Summer Nationals. Hi everybody, I'm Gary Lee alongside Army Armstrong. We have a 12-truck monster field. We have 12 of them, but the guy's getting all the attention is the last truck to roll in.
That truck is Barefoot. He wraps up the Dirty Dozen, as we're going to call him, and could literally be everybody else's nightmare. Fred Schaefer loves to run heads up. He's an old-time outlaw-type monster truck racer. He rolled in today. He had one day off. No, he's going to go monster truck racing, see what he can do against these guys. And he will be a player, Gary Lee, I'll guarantee you.
A nightmare or a daydream? We'll find out as we come back to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. A good crowd on hand here at the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. They have yet to see anything in first-round competition, but we have seen plenty of action. Look at this truck, Nightlife.
Well, as you can see behind us, Wayne Swazanik out of Florida took a ride on a wild side today. Wayne, what happened out there?
Army, we hit the second set of cars wide open, because that's the only way you can keep up with these guys. And what happened was, as best I can tell, I slung the power steering belts off and lost the steering. When I got back on the ground, the truck was up on its side, which normally wouldn't be a bad situation, but of course, without the assist of the hydraulic steering, you just can't muscle the truck around. And going that fast, once the one tire caught, it rolled it right on over.
And look at the interior of the truck. The roll cage has been caved in. Wayne was lucky to walk away from this. Army, let's watch again. I think this wreck right here could prompt the use of window netting like we see in NASCAR stock car racing. Watch the left arm. Watch Wayne's left arm come out of the cockpit there once and twice.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they're trying to adapt them to the open wheel vehicles. The monster truck guys, I think they need to look at the same rule, Gary.
Round one pairings, Bigfoot 8 against No Problem and Nightlife against Nightmare. Then it's Barefoot and Bad Medicine, King Crunch, and Snakebite. Taurus will take on Above and Beyond and the Carolina Crusher against Micro Machine as we look at work under the two-frame Bigfoot 8.
Now, the qualifying session was interesting. Earlier today, we talked about the Nightlife vehicle. Bigfoot had some problems. We had a throttle stick on Scott Stevens' vehicle, so these guys are really laying down the law trying to get good qualifying shots in today here at Bloomsburg.
Bigfoot looks like he's lost a drive shaft there in qualifying as they continue to work on Bigfoot 8.
And then the rear end actually broke on it and cramped over to the side or walked sideways.
Well, there is Nightlife. Wayne Swazanik out of Jupiter, Florida. He can still drive it. And look at this. He's going up against Steve Hess from Columbia City, Indiana. And can you believe he can still race this vehicle?
Well, I want you to keep something in mind. We're going to be up front with the folks. Don't look for a cavalry charge, but he's still running him kind of hard. He was going up just to pick up the points. You get round money points. This kid out of Florida trying to be a player in trouble.
Look at this. Nightlife's going to win it. Nightlife was almost dead in the water. Then Nightmare has a problem, and Wayne wins it.
Wayne comes back trying to pick up just a few points here. He's going to go over to the next round and pick up more points. But earlier he brought to our attention about the possibility of a safety net. These guys may need to look at a thicker wall tubing for their roll cages to keep them from collapsing. The tubing they're using now basically designed for like a 2,000-pound vehicle, and these rascals weigh 10,000 pounds.
Wayne will continue on in competition. He's standing by with Army.
Well, when Nightlife came in this morning, you didn't have any idea you'd be talking to me under these circumstances, did you?
No, not the first time, nor this time, actually.
Well, the flip, you got the truck back together. What about going in the next round? You're still a player today.
Yeah, we're hanging in there. You know, with a cage like that, I'm scared to run the truck too hard, because if it did go back over, I don't know if it had the strength to support it the second time without a really good repair.
We take a look at Bad Medicine, Don Van Loo, Jefferson City, Missouri. And here is Fred Schaefer in the dreaded Barefoot.
There's a motion picture about a monster named Fred. And the monster truck guys, they know the story on Barefoot. We told you earlier, he's here just to do one thing. Thump these guys big time. He picks on Van Loo, who relies on the Chrysler horsepower.
Well, that's not going to be enough. Look at the air as Fred clears the first set of cars, then motors easily over the second, and he has an easy victory here in round one.
The truck is actually about 6 inches longer than any other trucks, so it launches 6 inches further back in cleaner dirt, if you will.
And Fred has the muscle under the hood to power over those cars. Here's Fred with Army.
Probably the strongest Chevrolet truck in America is Fred Schaefer's National Champion Chevrolet. Fred, basically, you just came in here, you're throwing all the cards on the table. Only the baddest of the bad is going to walk out of this one today.
There's some bad boys here today, and we got a big crowd, Army, and everybody's pumped up. There's a lot of flogging going on in the pit area, and it's going to be one heck of a race today.
And look who's coming up. There is Snake Bite. And Snake Bite goes up against Scott Stevens in the Auto Value King Crunch.
Gary, there's a couple different theories here on the monster trucks. I want you to notice the Snake Bite truck, the motor location to the front, basically in the stock location as the truck. Stevens on the near side, he runs a mid-motor or rear motor setup. The monster truck fraternity is still trying to figure out the hot handle.
Well, on paper, it would look that King Crunch would have the advantage. He was the faster qualifier of these two. Pretty close, really close. Hang on, is he going to go on over? No, the Snake Bite almost got upside down.
I tell you, it looked like the Blue Angels Precision Flying Team. They both got to the end of the track and went opposite directions. Look at this, both drivers doing a superb job.
Well, Scott has the advantage right here, Army, but look, the final 100 feet, Snake Bite almost gets him. Well, you're down there in the pit area. You collected both the drivers.
Gary, one thing's kind of interesting in drag racing, ET's important. We've got an interesting situation here. The loser actually went quicker. Colt, the word we get is you were quicker, but he got to the other end.
Yeah, Army, I was going down through there. I seen he was a little bit ahead of me, so I really stood into it pretty hard. And this grass was really slick down at the end, and we had our hands tied up and was trying to get it under control. And I had to let out just for a minute, and that's when he probably got me.
You're kind of being a nice guy. Before we went on camera, you're kind of taking a cheap shot at him. Scott, Auto Value going to the next round, what would you do different?
It was a good race. I was worried about getting disqualified. You know, that Snake Bite truck, you know, and I tell him what they're going to do to you out there. It was just a good race. He didn't run over me like, you know, he told me he was going to, so it was a good thing.
I am just waiting for somebody to try to pull off his headgear as we take a look at Pat Suma and Jack Roman as they line up side by side. Once again, we have Taurus above and beyond.
Jack Willman has been around this sport as long as anybody. He comes out of the Granite City, Illinois area, right across the river from St. Louis. He's going up against Above and Beyond, probably one of the newest trucks on the circuit. So the odds-on favorite has to be the Chevy in the far lane, Gary.
Well, of course, Taurus is a brand new ride, a brand new truck. Above and Beyond in trouble. A ragged drive for both of these guys, but the victory will go to Taurus. Nothing pretty about that.
No, not at all. But I don't think that Jack was driving. He knew how tough the competition was. He ran just enough to beat him. Now, one of the things you got to remember, though, on these jumps, there's a missing car. The second car is missing, so you have to clear about 10 feet in the air. So you got to drive hard enough to get over that hump, Gary.